Let me show you some tweaks that you can perform in Mac OS to speed up your startup time, the time that your Mac requires to start up. Uh, I'll also be showing you, taking you around how to set preferences in Finder to increase your efficiency and getting to your session quickly. Let's take a look. Let's start by doing some tweaks in the system preferences of Mac OS, which you can access from here. The first thing you need to do is get rid of the screensaver, which you can access from here. And click on the drop down menu over here and select Never. After that, jump to the energy saver preferences and completely disable computer sleep by sliding this slider all the way to the right. The reason you want to do this is when you're working on a session and you take a longer break, you don't want your computer to go to sleep with your session open and all these plugins loaded heavily into your memory and your CPU, which is already hot and up. After that, you can adjust the display sleep preferences to whatever you want. That doesn't make any difference. I recommend choosing a display sleep rather than a screensaver because display sleep doesn't really use any of your memory or CPU. After this, move on to users and groups preference over here. Now these are very important settings. These are your login items. These are the items or apps that start up and launch as soon as you start your Mac. Now you don't want to have a lot of applications over here because the more applications you have over here, the slower your Mac startup is. Your Mac will take that much longer to boot up. I would really recommend that you should review these settings and remove apps that you don't require at all. Not only do these apps slow down your Mac startup, but they also use useful memory and processing which otherwise you could have used in your music making application. To remove an app from your login items, just select it and click on the minus button right over here. Finally, go back to the main menu and select Software Update. Get rid of all automatically checks and downloads and install options. We do not want the App Store to periodically check, download, and install apps behind our back when we are making music. So these were some very basic system preferences tweaks that I showed you. Of course, you're free to explore yourself and tweak more and experiment more to your taste. You can now go ahead and close system preferences because now I'll be taking you through some preferences for the Finder. When you open a new Finder window, you would usually see a lot of information in your sidebar, most of it which you don't need. Now, these are the default settings that come with every Mac, and I'm just going to show you how to get rid of some of this stuff and put in some stuff that is really useful. So go to Finder Preferences by clicking on the Finder tab and Preferences. Go to the sidebar and remove things that you really don't need while making music. I would actually get rid of most of this stuff, like all my files, AirDrop, documents, downloads, movies, music, pictures. I don't want back to my Mac. I want to see connected servers because my Macs are networked. If you don't have multiple Macs and if you do not use network, then you can even get rid of these things over here. Finally, choose which devices would you like to see in your sidebar. I choose not to see my external disks or CDs in my on my desktop, but I prefer to see them in my sidebar in the Finder window. So I have selected my hard disks, external disks, and CDs, DVDs, and iPods. Once you are done customizing your sidebar, you can go ahead and close the Finder preferences. Now, let me show you how to customize your Finder window to have relevant information easily available. Most of you probably already know that Mac OS has a great Spotlight search feature. Let me show you how to use Spotlight search and save those searches and use them as smart folders to get to the stuff that you need the most. One of the biggest challenges that a music producer or a composer faces is getting to the right file and finding that right session or a project file amidst hundreds of folders and files that he has created. Let me show you a tip that will really simplify this process. Now, this tip can work with any sessions by any DAW. I mean, this is not only for Logic. Even if you're using Cubase on a Mac or Reason or whatever, you can use this tip. All you need to know is the kind of document that your DAW creates. For this example, I'm going to use Logic 10 to show you how can I get to my session files easily, irrespective of where they are on the hard disk. Go to the Spotlight search field in your Finder window and type the name of the document, the kind of document that you're looking for. In this example, I'll just type Logic 10. Now, you can see it's thrown up a lot of information over here, but what I'm really looking for is not a file name, but a kind of Logic X project. So I'll just click on that, and it'll show me all the sessions that I have saved on this Mac. It doesn't matter where you've saved your session. If it's on this Mac, it'll show up over here. Now, the best part about Spotlight search is that you can save a particular search as a preset or a smart folder that updates itself live in real time. So just go ahead and click on the save button, label the preset what you want to label. For example, Logic Sessions. Save it in the default directory of saved searches, that's in your user library, and make sure that add to sidebar is checked. Click on save, and now you have a smart folder in your sidebar that shows your Logic sessions irrespective of where they are on the hard disk. Now remember that this is a live folder, so you can go ahead and save your new sessions wherever you want to save them without having to remember the location or the path, and you can rest assured that that project will show up in this search the next time you go to this folder. Now that you're done creating your smart folder, there's one more step you can do that can make it even more easier for you to access your sessions or your documents. Just drag your smart folder from the sidebar all the way down to the dock and place it on the right of this dividing line next to the trash. This creates a stack. And stacks are a very efficient way to get to your documents very quickly and easily. When you click on a stack, it fans out all the contents. Of course, you're free to customize it. I usually right-click the stack, select View Content as List, and there you are. Now this is very easy. So all you need to do is click on a stack, click on your project, and you're on your way. And now, as a final tip, let me show you how you can use Quick Look in the Finder to see a snapshot of all your projects. Just click on a session, select it, and press the spacebar. You'll see a snapshot of your session. You can also scroll, you use the arrow keys, and you can see whichever session you want to see, and even blow it up full screen. You'll be able to see all the information in the last saved state of your session. I hope that you found these series of tweaks, tips and tricks useful, and thank you again for watching. See, there is no excuse for not knowing your operating system if you are into making music on a computer. You have to know your operating system and tweak it according to your requirements. This requires you to be disciplined and knowledgeable about the operating system, because if you do not know your operating system, you can run into serious hurdles. I know so many people who have installed so many applications which really increases the startup time. I know people with Macs, their startup times are more than 10 minutes. This is not acceptable if you're in a professional music making environment. Use two users if you have a personal life and a professional life on your computer, if you have only one computer. Most of these tweaks that I showed you might not necessarily give you a lot of processing power and RAM for your DAW, but they will definitely increase your efficiency in working without any hurdles.